Good afternoon. It's Thursday out here on the front porch, and I'm kind of itchy. I mowed my yard. I mowed a little bit outside the roadway. I did make a video before this, and I got really off topic, and it was really long, so I deleted it, and I'm starting over. And now I get to kind of pick through my brain as I'm talking to figure out what I want to tell you, and to keep it down in a certain form and everything else. Now, the other night I was going through YouTube, and some of y'all had left great messages on there. Thank y'all for the birthday wishes. One of y'all said there's a link I can go to get more subscribers. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But I don't want to be like everybody else on YouTube that says click the like button, click the subscribe button, click this button, click that button. The way I feel is if you want to click it, you click it. If you don't want to click it, I'm not going to sit here and beg you to do it. It's totally up to you. And, I will never use that link because to me, that's kind of like cheating on a test. People are like, yeah, but if you get more subscribers, you can actually start getting paid for it, and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. I'm not doing this to get paid. I'm doing this because I enjoy talking. I enjoy spending my time with whoever's going to watch me, whoever's going to, pick up on certain things that I'm doing that they never thought of, or something they kind of thought about doing at one time and they shoved it back in the little corner slot back of your head and they totally forgot about it till they watched something I said or did, and then it kind of rekindled a fire and they're like, hey, let's do this and blah blah blah. That is what I'm here for. I'm not here to make money. And then when I first started doing these a long time ago, my thing was, I always said that when I'm dead and gone, if YouTube is still around, my kids can come back and click on a video from me and be like, there's Pops, there's Dad, and I miss him, blah, blah, blah. I wish I never done this, I wish I never done that. Or I wish I would have done this with him instead of, saying I'm too tired or I don't want to do it. That's why I make these videos. But at the same time, there's certain videos that I do that it's just me sharing what I'm doing. Like a couple of videos where we went to the farm. And that's really, it hurts me now more than anything because the property that I was supposed to have inherited got sold to another family member. And for years, I mean years, I've been salivating, chomping at the bit, waiting for that person to say, okay, here's your piece of property, here's your, what you're getting from the farm. And I was so looking forward to it. And then when the rug got pulled out from underneath me, and it was like a kick in the balls and a slap in the face at the same time. And it was so detrimental that for a long time I didn't make videos because I was just so pissed off, so upset, and I didn't care. And then my camera tore up and I wanted to make videos and I couldn't. And then I found a couple of cameras that were really cheap, kind of ragged out, and I got them, and they worked for a little bit, then they crapped out. The camera on right now, I got this for next to nothing off eBay. How long is it gonna last? I could not tell you. But I live kind of hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck. But I'm not out here looking I'm not out here begging people to click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the little star button, click this or click that. If you wish to choose to do that, that is on you. I'm not going to sit here and beg for it. And I've said this many, many times. And I don't want to sound disrespectful or mean or a hard ass or anything. I just feel, because I watch videos all the time on YouTube of other people's, and I don't subscribe to them. Mainly because, even though I enjoy their content, it's almost like they're pushy. They're pushing for you to click on their, just for their channel solely alone. There's tons of channels on YouTube way better than mine, way better. And if you look at some of my posting pictures, like for my video things, some of it's political, some of it's comical, some of it's kind of but I have a warped sense of humor. And whatever my mood is when I'm making the video or uploading the video, whatever my mood is at, depends on what kind of picture I put up. I have a very, very dark humor sometimes. Sometimes I have a comical humor. Sometimes it's, well, I'm very pro-South, so you'll see a lot of Confederate flags, a lot of Southern type things. I know some people see a Confederate flag and they get all, their heart starts twisting and getting tight, and they're having a conniption fit. But if you get that worked up over a flag, then you have more problems other than that flag. It is what it is. I was raised in a high-class neighborhood in my teenage years. I was raised in the poorest of poor areas of Louisville in the 70s in my childhood. I've driven over the road. I've been all across Canada. I've been all over the U.S. I've been to Alaska. I couldn't tell you how many times. The farthest I've been into Mexico is 150 miles. Been to Tijuana. You know, never been to Hawaii because there wasn't a bridge long enough. Never been to Puerto Rico because there wasn't a bridge long enough there either. But if there was a bridge, you could have bet your sweet ass I would have been there. I've met every type of walk of life there is. Everything from black, white, Hispanic, Indian, Native American, Jewish, Russian, French, you name it. I've met them. Some of them I agreed with. Some of them I just kind of tolerated. You know, nobody's any different than me. I put my pants and shoes on all the same way. 1 foot at a time, 1 leg at a time. Yeah, I got tons of bad jokes. I mean tons of bad jokes. And when you drive over the road for 10 plus years, you learn all kinds of bad jokes. A lot of them are racial, but they're comical. And, you know, I'm not going to tell a racial joke to somebody that belongs to that race because, you know, they might laugh about it and they might want to knock my teeth out. Good luck on that, because I don't have any more teeth. I all got knocked out a long time ago due to an accident, and then due to medical, and then, you know, a couple of years ago I got the rest of them pulled out because they were causing problems. But I'm happy-go-lucky, I'm easygoing, I'm easy along with. My biggest thing is communication. My grammar's not best, it's kind of low-grade grammar, but as long as you can read it, you can understand what I'm saying. My joke of it is when you get these people that, like, you always say, press 1 for English, press 2 for Spanish. I tell people, press 1 for redneck, press 2 for English, press 3 for Spanish. And then when one time somebody's like, well, what do you mean press 1 for redneck? Well, if you don't know what a redneck is, yeah, you'll definitely learn later down the road. I'm a redneck. But in my other video, I talked about Rural King. And if you don't know what a Rural King is, in my description box down below, I'll put a web address for Rural King So that way, if you don't have one, or you don't have or never heard of one, you can click on it, and it'll pop up, and you can have fun looking at my redneck Walmart. It's a farm implement, clothing, sporting good kind of store. It's what I call redneck Walmart, and that's basically it's the truth. But yeah, I I want subscribers, don't get me wrong, but I want subscribers honestly. I don't want subscribers because I'm begging for them. And if that time comes, so be it. But this morning I came up out here on the porch. I picked a couple of quarts of mulberries. My son came out here picking some mulberries. Of course, I told him if he picks a certain amount, I gave him $20 to do it. Which, of course, when he was out here picking, I got to mow the yard, and I mowed a little bit on the side. And I might go up here after a while and check out my neighbor's yard, see if it needs to be cut again or not. And if it does, I'll mow his yard. And I might go up here and mow the lady's front yard back there. The lady's yard up front, mow her backyard that I could not get to because of the swampy marshiness. What, are you bored? My youngest. He was out here early a couple minutes ago riding the bike around. He's bored. But, you know, when I was growing up, if I told my mom I was bored, she goes, well, how bored are you? And if I said I'm really, really, really bored, she'd be like, well, you see that out there? Go do that. And you won't be bored. And that's what I did a long time ago. They'd be like, I'm bored. I'm like, really? You're bored? Yeah, I'm bored. Well, good, go out here in the yard and clean up this, or go over there and move those sticks, or move these rocks, or pull these weeds. And then, for a while, they learned not to say I'm bored. And they'll be kind of sitting around huffing and puffing. I'm like, are you bored? They'll be like, nope. But he sat there at the door. That's what made me think of it, because he was like, I'm kind of bored a little bit. That's good. I got stuff you can do. But I'm not going to keep you on here very long. This is kind of like a follow-up update of why I'm not going to use that link thing to pull in more viewers. The only thing I will say is other than my few videos that y'all seen, if you go to my backlog, I got tons and tons and tons of videos. Certain ones y'all understand, some of them y'all probably won't. If you're foreign, you might understand it some. Some of them you probably won't. There are some political ones on here. I tried not to be political, but sometimes I have my days where I just say screw it. I talk about it, but not very long, but I do talk about it. Religion is a topic I try to stay away from, because if you look at the Bible and you look at history books and everything else, religion is usually the first cause of any war of any form. So religion is something I try to stay away from as much as possible, even though I do acknowledge I'm Southern Baptist. I grew up in a Jewish family. Well, my stepdad was Jewish, and my real dad was Roman Catholic, and my grandfather was Methodist. So, you know, I've got like tons of different cultural religion form, but religion is a topic I try to stay off of as much as possible. Race is a topic I try to stay off of as much as possible. You know, but that's about it really, you know. And like I said, I do have my moments where I get diarrhea of the mouth and I just start blurting a bunch of shit, and you know, it comes out. And I don't edit videos, so if there's anything on any of my videos that pisses y'all off, all I can say is I'm sorry ahead of time, but I don't edit videos, and if it comes across here, there's no speed bump here, and it comes out there. So that's how it is. Now, if I'm around certain people, I try not to say certain things, stuff like that, like cursing, foul language, stuff like that. But I look at it this way: my videos are not made for children. Um, I'm not considering cuss like a sailor 24/7, but I will say a few words here and there. I might say a few big $20, $50 words, but we're all adults. We might say the same word with a different pronunciation in a different language, but we all say the same thing to a certain degree. But yeah, I mean, I'm easygoing, laid back, happy-go-lucky, and I try not to ruffle feathers. I try to teach, educate when I can, whenever I can. I try to show different plants. Like some of these videos, we're out digging certain things. I know in the past we talked about certain things occasionally, but not very in depth. And here this year, like this summer, whenever I go out in the woods and I see a certain plant that I know what, like the mullein, that is something we call Indian tobacco rabbit's ear, and that's why I gave the description of what the benefits are, what it looks like, and everything else. That's what I'm going to do the rest of the time in the summertime when I go out in the woods. If I see certain plants that I know for sure that are beneficial, that can help slightly cure or eliminate certain forms of issues into the body or help the body, I will talk about it, describe it, dig part of it up or dig all of it up, talk about anything and everything on it until I move to the next one. Because if you can find natural plant form that can do the same thing certain pills or man-made medicines can do, but in a natural form, take advantage of it, run with it, do what you can. Like right now, back here in the corner part of my yard, I got a big old stalk of wild lettuce growing. And with wild lettuce, it's a weed, as always, but if you process it a certain way, it's almost like opium without the addicting part of opium. But if you process it like opium in a certain way, it does become like a black tar, but it's a very good mild like sedative for pain and arthritis and stuff like that. And I got a great big old stalk over there. It's probably about 2 foot tall, 2.5 to 3 foot tall, probably about that big around. And now of course it has to grow more. That's just like the leaves and the stalk and everything put together. But it'll grow roughly somewhere about 4 to 6 foot tall. 6 foot when it's completely mature. And but yeah, I mean, my next video I'll go over there and I might download this, charge this back up, and then walk over there and show a certain few things and everything else. I don't know yet. It depends on what I get done after this video. But I would much rather be informative, knowledgeable for what I know. Certain plants that I know of, but I don't know that much about, I will still take video pictures and stuff like that. If I could find a way to where I could learn how to take pictures, download pictures, and then make like a slide kind of thing for YouTube, instead of just having non-stop video of me talking on the front porch or walking through the woods or something like that, to have a more close-up kind of picture, like 2 or 3 different pictures of the same thing, and explain it better and talk about it better. I might ask Montez. He's a buddy of mine, has all kinds of followers on YouTube, has all kinds of different topics and everything else. He does blogging and all that kind of crap. He knows how to do all that shit. And I might ask him to show me how to do a slide rule kind of thing, and which that would help me out drastically and greatly. But that's how it is. I ain't gonna take up any more of y'all's time. Y'all have a goodie. I want to say I would like to make another video before Sunday, but in case that I don't, I'll make one next week sometime, and I'll try to make it more interesting. Put you like that. But until then, keep your nose clean and your powder dry, and everything should be okay. Unless you're like me and you fly by the seat of your pants, and you're just in trouble then. So until then, y'all have a great day. I've still got more stuff I need to take care of around the yard. See about mowing some yards. Yeah. Till then, y'all have a great day. Click, click.